the divorce rate amongst women 55 to 65 is, I think they said something like 73% blame it on menopause. The insane rage, the anxiety, the stress, not to mention the other physical issues. And so, I also found lack of, support in the friends and the family simply because they just didn't know what was going on and didn't know how to. It's not like you say, I have cancer, I'm sick. I can't operate the same way I used to. I'm not reaching out, but I still love you. And so, they sort of get pushed aside and sort of forgotten about because it's not as, much of a, I hate to, you know what I'm saying? It's not as much of a known thing, I suppose you could say, as other illnesses are. So for single women, particularly, single moms that are raising kids on their own, it's critical that they find support somewhere. So whether that be in family and friends, not cocooning, that was one of my downfalls. Was I literally just went inside and away from most people for a good year or so. But that's where the therapists come in that have menopause aware, support. That's where coaches come in where they have menopause aware support. It's going and finding their people, going, joining groups of women that are talking about menopause. My friends are sick of hearing about it now. My family's sick of hearing about it now, but not really. Everybody's intrigued by it because you're talking about the elephant in the room that has been an elephant for so long, that I think when women can just at least find people that they can identify with and that understand what they're going through, that's probably the best support that they can get.
So what about the other side of this, which is that, the woman who gets the, oh, well, you're just going through menopause. If you forget something or if you have a moment, a human moment, which is pretty much common between, any gender. It's the demeaning side of this conversation. What are your thoughts on that?
Happens more often than you think, for sure. And it's so progressive, for those that struggle with the cognitive issues and all issues, but it's so slowly progressive that it starts with forgetting a word, or what you're going to say or what you left in another room, and then it goes into, like, your sentences aren't really making sense, and then they're making fun of you, and you can. I'm pretty self-deprecating, so I can make fun of myself too, but inside, you're really reeling and thinking, God, I used to be so smart. And now I can't even think about what word I was supposed to say there. And then, for me, it got really bad where I just couldn't remember anything and therefore couldn't teach, and you're putting up with, sort of the jokes from around you, but also what you're doing to yourself inside, especially for those high achievers. And so I think that's why I'm so vocal, or getting so vocal online in sharing just my story. This is what these are the things that used to happen to me. Yes, they're funny. Yes, they're stupid. Yes, they're crazy, whatever you want to call it, because, the more people that start to realize when your wife is talking gibberish, it may not be because she has dementia, and it may not be because she's stupid. It may just be because she's struggling with something that she can't identify. So awareness and understanding, I'm just going to say, are like the top two things we need to do for women navigating menopause to help them.